We are in Abidjan with Hikaru Nakamura, winner of the 2018 edition of the Grand Chess Tour and US champion 2019. It's been a long day of chess, and it was a very eventful day for you after a difficult game against Bassem Amin in time trouble. And you managed to come back very quickly, beating Ding Liren. How do you feel about your standings in the tournament? What do you think about your chances from tomorrow in the last day of the Rapids and then with the Blitz?
Yeah, so it was a very strange day. First game against Veselin was probably worse than my game, but he made a very simple oversight tactical one-move wonder. So I won that game. In the second game against Bassem, I was probably a little bit worse for most of the game, and then we started getting low on time, and mistakes happened for both of us. I mean, at some point I was probably winning, and then it should have been a draw, and then I tried too hard to win, and I found a way to lose that game, which was very unfortunate. But then in the last round, I won a very nice game against Ding. So very, very eventful day, but I wouldn't say it's disappointing, because anytime you finish on a plus score, it's generally good. It's just that with Magnus winning so many games, it's not as good as it could be.
You said before the beginning of the tournament that you were looking forward to playing against Carlsen specifically. Are you looking forward to playing with him in the Blitz section? And do you think the direct encounters against him could help you bridge the gap and catch up with him?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now the differential is it's 2 points, I believe, right? Or 4 points. I think it's 2 points. So I mean, it's still possible. I think if it's really close, then yeah, the head-to-head encounter will be very important. But again, there's still 3 more games tomorrow, and I mean, I think it's possible. I think either one of two things is going to happen. Magnus is going to win every game and run away with the Rapid, or probably he'll have a solid dangle like +1, and then either myself or maybe someone like Wei Yu will have a chance to catch up and be like maybe 1 point behind. But if it's close, then the direct encounter will be important. But just in general, playing Magnus, it's a lot of fun. He's obviously playing extremely well lately, so it's always good to play someone when they're at their peak.
How are you liking Ivory Coast and the tournament here in, first Grand Chess tournament in Africa?
Yeah, I've been to Africa before. I played, I mean, it's not Sub-Sahara, but I played the World Cup in Libya in 2004, and then in last year, 2018, I was in Cape Town and Johannesburg in South Africa. So I've been to Africa before, but this is the first time there's been a top-level event, and so it's great to see the enthusiasm of the local people here. I haven't had much time to see the city. I mean, what I've seen wasn't so great because I had to actually go to the Russian embassy yesterday morning, and it wasn't in the heart of the city, so it wasn't the best experience ever. But in general, people are supportive of the event, and I think trying to have more major events in Africa is a good thing, because if you look across the world, most continents, there are some very strong chess players, and in the African continent, you have a couple of Egyptian guys with Bassem and Adley, but when you go Sub-Sahara, they're really, I mean, there might be like 1 or 2 guys from like Zambia, I think, who are around like 2,500, but you don't have anyone who's anywhere near 2,700. So trying to have more events and make chess more popular is definitely a good thing, and it's great to see the Grand Chess Tour trying to hold a new event.
Last year, you supported some African players to work on their chess. What do you think a grandmaster and a top player can do to help chess in Africa grow bigger?
I mean, I think the main thing is you need a lot of participation. I think one of the great things about chess is that when you try to bring it to the masses, it's not something where you can spend a lot of money. It requires a board, and if you're competitive, it requires a clock. But if you compare it to a lot of other sports, there's a lot of equipment that you can spend a lot of money on it. So I think in terms of the cost analysis, chess tends to be something that's a lot easier to support. And I think you need to get it in the schools. You need to have kids exposed to it. And I don't think you're not going to have grandmasters or super-grandmasters right away. It takes a lot of time. But I think if you build something up, you say plan out 20 to 30 years, it's very possible that you can sort of create the programs and have the infrastructure where kids have the opportunity. Maybe a couple of them do go on to become really strong.
Okay, thank you very much, and all the best for the next few games.